So I was mountain or downhill biking with my friend, and we hit this line of jumps. I'm kind of inexperienced in doing jumps, so I leaned back too much, which kicked my rear wheel up into the air, which means I tilted in the air like this, and then I landed onto my front wheel and tipped over and fell onto my shoulder right away. And apparently also on my head, since my helmet is quite scratched up, as you can see. I don't actually remember the moment I hit the ground from falling down. All I can remember is looking at over my pillow and feeling myself tipping over and be like, shit, this is not good. And then I remember falling down, it's going around, kind of, but I don't actually feel the impact. I just remember when I fall down, I lie on my back and I feel my shoulder. And, I feel the bone sticking upwards. And then I yell for my friend that I broke my collarbone, and I crawled to the side so other people won't run over me, because I was at the landing of the jump. And from there, he came to check me and kind of see if I was awake. And then what happened? Someone came and they stopped and asked if we need help. And so Wilbert had him call the ambulance, and he himself went to inform the bike park owners or the managers there. From there, from the bike park lane with the jumps, there's this rocky path down to the road where the ambulance could come. So I thought I was in the proper condition to crawl down the rocky path, and then the stranger that came to help, I had him help me up. Somehow with his help I managed to get up, and I walked down to the next to the road to lie down again. The collarbone area never actually hurt in the sense, and I couldn't tell the time, but I think my friend said it took something like 30 to 40 minutes for the ambulance to come. So when the ambulance came, the personnel were really nice. First thing they did was, of course, check my head, check my eyes that I'm looking normally and I'm speaking coherently, especially since I told the stranger that my back hurts. But then I also all felt that the pain is not in the spine, it's in the muscles. And in fact, I tore left side of my back muscle. So, and they also gave me this pain pipe, which is breathable medicine that's quite strong painkiller that takes the pain away, and that helped a lot. I don't think I could have survived until the hospital without that pain pipe. Once in the ambulance, they connected some tubes into my arm so they can administer stronger medicine straight into my bloodstream. And within about maybe 50 minutes, 1 hour, I didn't have track of time, because at that point the medication was quite strong, so I was quite high on the medicine, so I didn't know how much time passed, but it felt fast. But I think in an hour or so I arrived at the central hospital in Kuopio, and they took me inside from where the nurses took care of me. At the hospital, the first thing they did was take me to the proper area, so the ER, where they transferred me onto a bed. And then they did the basic checks, so like my blood pressure, and once again they checked my eyes and my head and if I was speaking coherently, and asked for my personal information and also the ambulance driver. And from there I just mostly lied onto my bed, and then the doctor came to check and just kind of felt around the bone and was like, yep, this one is broken. And then they scheduled me an x-ray. I don't really know how much time passed, but in the meantime, because I had also bruised and I had some scratches all over my body, so they checked those and cleaned them up on my arms and on my face. And from there they gave me some medicine and they took me to the x-ray, and they took 2 x-rays of the bone, and then they brought me back to my station where I wait the results. And yeah, then the doctor came, showed me the x-ray on his phone and said that in his opinion this will probably need surgery, but he needs to discuss this with the orthopeds first to get the second opinion. So he said that I can go home, and then they will call me later, and basically just told me to go home. But once I raised up from the bed and turned around, I noticed that my hospital bed, the white sheet was actually, or my back was covered in blood. So I kind of turned around and asked, wait, is that blood mine? So they came and lifted up my shirt, and my back was quite badly bruised. So you can remember that I told you that I had back pains, and it was completely black left side of my back. So they cleaned up the wounds a little bit and put different kinds of lotions into it and local anesthetic before the actual cleaning with the alcohol, because it hurts a lot. So yeah, that was pretty much the story of my first day at the hospital. I came home, and then I just worked with quite strong pain medication and the hand sleeve for 2 days. So the accident happened on a Saturday, and on Monday, I believe, they called me that they had a cancellation time at the orthopedic center so I could get into surgery. They called me a little after 8 in the morning and said that, have you eaten anything? Have you drank anything? And I said, no, I have drank at maybe 7 a.m. and I took some medicines. And they said, okay, get a taxi over here right now and come to the ward, and we'll get you checked in and you'll get your surgery today. And got the taxi to the hospital, and then they took me and sat me on the bed and changed my clothes and said just to wait at this point, because I had drank water and they require I think it was 5 hours or so without eating or drinking before the surgery, so they sat me down there to wait. Put a little bit of relaxant medication so I could relax, because I was really nervous and cold, so I was shaking on the surgery bed to sleep. Once the surgeon had come over, and he just looked over me and asked, okay, which side? And I just said left, and then he just looked up to the anesthesia nurse and said, okay, and then they put in the medicine, and I just went under, and then I just woke up at the wake up ward, where they took some basic tests again, like my blood pressure and blood sugars and so on, where I was served lunch, which was sausage soup, if I remember correctly, with a dessert of strawberry mousse. This is actually my second time that I broke the same bone, and the experience was quite different from the first time, because first time the fracture was different, and I rode the car to the hospital and was taken there by my dad, and so this was actually my first time riding the ambulance, which was in itself, if you want to take the positive out of it, it was a good experience in the sense that I was taking very good care of the whole trip, and everybody was nice to me, and I could feel the efficiency that I was in good hands the whole time. As for the cost, I haven't gotten the invoice yet, so I can't really say the exact amount, but my friend who dislocated his shoulder and had to get a surgery said that the surgery cost around 150 euros or so for him. So all in all, I found that the Finnish emergency system, so ambulance and the nurses along the ambulance were very professional. They knew what they were doing, and they knew how to take the control of the situation, use the people who were there to help me in an efficient way. The timetable at which I got my surgery and all the other injuries looked after was quite quick, in my opinion. It was only 2 days to get into the surgery from the ER. In my opinion, the Finnish healthcare system is very professional, good at what they do, and efficient. Thank you for listening to my story, and remember that if you're gonna go biking anytime soon, wear a helmet and be careful. Moi moi!